Well, as I was saying, we all have to eat, so I don't feel like I covered quite enough last week in my episode. So this week I'm going to be continuing to talk about my food choices and how I keep it super simple when it comes to my low carb journey. Also, I'm going to show you a very brief tutorial on how I use my favorite macronutrient tracker, the CarbManager app. Stay tuned. Hi there, welcome back. It's Christine from Joyful Keto Life. Thank you for tuning in today to my YouTube show, 5 on Fridays. Why Fridays? Well, as a lifelong dieter, I know weekends can be hard, so I'm here to encourage and inspire and motivate you and to help keep you on track for your weekends and your journey as you continue to reach and achieve your weight loss goals. This week I'm going to share with you what I ate the first week of June, just to give you an example. But before I begin, I just need to remind you that I am not a doctor. I am not a healthcare provider. I'm just a blessed girl who was very fortunate to finally find a way of eating that helped restore my metabolic health. And in the process, I lost over 100 pounds, and I've been keeping it off through my low-carb journey for over a year and a half now. I did a blog post in the month of June called Jumpstart into June, just to answer the number one question I get all the time: what do I eat? So I made some meal plans for myself and I decided to share them with you, and you can grab a copy of those. I'll post a link down below. You can see what I ate in the month of June because I did a really good job of sticking to my meal plans. First of all, if you did look at my meal plans, you will notice that I like to keep my lunches super simple. I eat leftovers, or I will eat bacon and cheese and olives or hard-boiled eggs, and I do that pretty much every day. And I literally could eat the same thing every day. I know that might sound strange to some of you, but as you make your way through this journey of low-carb living, you begin to have the mindset that food is strictly fuel. And that's the reason that I could eat the same thing every day if I had to. And if you're not there yet, I do encourage you to keep plugging away at it, and eventually you will get there, I promise. So Sunday, I made a pot roast in the slow cooker, which is excellent for leftovers. I ate the beef a couple of days into the week for my lunch. But I love the Mississippi pot roast. Before, when I used to make it in my previous lifestyle, I would use the ranch seasoning packet and the brown gravy packet, but I no longer use those because they have lots of icky fillers in them. And I just make my own ranch seasoning and sprinkle that. And then the Mississippi pot roast, if you're not familiar with it, it also has butter and pepperoncinis for some flavor. Very delicious. You can Google it and find recipes for Mississippi pot roast anywhere. And on Monday, I made taco salad, one of our favorite things to eat here. I seasoned my ground beef with a homemade taco seasoning, and you can find lots of recipes for that too, but my favorite is from Wholesome Yum, and I make a big batch of that, and that comes in very handy because every week we have taco salad. I also get a lot of questions on how to track macros, so I thought I would just give you a very brief introduction, and we can explore this more later together. But my favorite carb counting app is CarbManager, and as you can see, they do have a free version. I happen to use the subscription version, which I believe I paid $40 for a year subscription. I'm already logged in here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I would track my taco salad meal. So go up, add food. The first thing I add is the base of my taco salad is romaine lettuce. That's what I always use, and I measure it out in a measuring cup, and I have 1 cup of shredded romaine lettuce. I'm going to add that. All right, next thing I add is when I cook ground beef, I use 80% lean. I'm going to add that, and I also use about a cup of the ground beef, and I do measure it out. I'm going to add that. And the ground beef is seasoned with my favorite keto low-carb taco seasoning recipe from Wholesome Yum, which I happen to have imported into my CarbManager app, so I have that information available right there. I use the serving suggestion when I prepare the taco meat. It's a 1 tablespoon of the mixture per 1 pound of ground beef. So I'll add that. Next thing I need on my taco salad is some cheese, and I typically buy a block of Tillamook sharp cheddar cheese, and I shred that on my own. And I will use about, I think when I measure out the cheese, I use about 3 ounces of cheese. We'll add that. Actually, it's more like 2 ounces. Add that. All right, the next thing I have on my taco salad is I always have about half an avocado sliced up. So I can change it over here because I do put half the avocado on my taco salad. I'm going to add that. All right, the other thing I like to put on my taco salad is my Trader Joe's organic sour cream. And I use the serving size of 2 tablespoons. And then the last thing I found at Trader Joe's, a salsa that has no added sugar and a very low carb count, 2 grams of carbs per 2 tablespoon serving. So I'll add that. That is everything that I put on my taco salad. So you can see my taco salad is 30% protein, which I am trying to up my protein right now while keeping in ketosis. So this works out perfectly. This is how I've got my taco salad down to how I like it. And then you can see my ratio. So I have 30% protein for this meal, 66% fat, and 3.9% carbs. So that is perfect for fitting in my goals right now of trying to increase my protein a little bit. This is a pretty easy macro counter to use if you'd like to give it a try. The food library is humongous. You can search for basically anything. If you were wanting Daisy sour cream, for example, instead of the Trader Joe's, you can find it in here. Huge library of foods in here. And then you can create your own recipes so that common things that you make, like the keto avocado pie that I like to make, I have that recipe set up in here already. So simple, easy to use. Tuesday, I didn't eat anything. That's my fasting day. And I can't wait to come back and talk to you more about fasting in future videos. Wednesday is another great weekly staple here in this house for busy evenings. We have bunless burgers every week, and it's one of our easy favorite go-to meals. Thursday is a day that I work at home, so I have a little bit more time to prepare a meal, and I made this past week, I made the keto avocado pie from the Diet Doctor site. It is my favorite Diet Doctor recipe. I will give you a quick tip to save on carbs. Don't make the crust in that recipe. There's absolutely no reason. I don't feel like it adds anything except carbs, and you can cook up the keto avocado pie perfectly in a pie dish. It cooks up just very nicely like a crustless quiche. Friday, after working all week, I don't ever want to make a meal, so we usually have something simple like bacon and eggs, and that's exactly what we had this week. And Saturday is another day that I'm home, so this is really the day that I experiment with any new recipes I want to try. I found a recipe for lemon garlic grilled salmon, and I made that, and it was delicious. and I had just went onto Google and Googled keto salmon recipes, and that was the one that looked most appealing to me. That is what I ate for the week. Hopefully sharing what I've eaten gives you some great ideas and things to go on so you can start doing your own meal planning. And hopefully my little introduction to CarbManager and the tracking gave you something to go on if you're new to that. And I will do a video in the future to expand on how to use the CarbManager app. And I will see you next week. And I hope you enjoy your meal planning and preparing your keto and low carb meals. And I will see you next time. And as always, choose joy.